Welcome back to round 4 of the Just Car Insurance Australian Drifting Grand Prix. We're in the second half of our top 16 battles now. The Drift Kid, Nick Coulson, up against Michael Jewston in the 180SX. Jewston gave us a big upset in top 32 when he defeated Danny Williamson. But that's great for Nick Coulson, as now he has a chance to move up into third in the championship, which he will be trying to do as he puts the pedal to the metal in that Just Nice Cars High Torque Performance VA Ute. Jewston trying to do everything he can to keep up, but he's pretty shallow on the angle there coming into the Achilles radial hairpin. The proximity's not too bad from Jewston, but he just hasn't got the aggression or angle of the big Commodore VA Ute. Let's spin it around now. Jewston will lead, Nick Coulson will chase. Jewston doing everything he can to get away from that VA Ute. He's going to overcook it here. He runs a little bit wide, spins it around. That's a 0, and that will hand the win straight to Nick Coulson in that High Torque Performance VA Ute. He'll be ecstatic as he is charging through this championship, trying to move up into third. With Danny out, he has a chance to do that, and that spin gives him the win nice and easy.
It was a good run. It went up against the local here. He knows the track well. I just had to put the pressure on him, and he spun it, so they gave it to me.
Another great matchup, Nail, but before we see it, let's catch up with registered driver Lane Brandis.
Hi, my name's Lane Brandis from Perth. I'm driving the R32 Hankook Skyline. I've been drifting for 3 years. Been over here in Perth. We don't get to drive a lot of different tracks because they're not close, so it's the only opportunity we really get to go across as a group. Good bunch of guys, and I really just want to try some new tracks. I'm running an RB22, which is a stroked RB20, running a 3076 turbo, half E85, boosting about 24 pound, running about 430 horsepower. Got all the usual suspension arms and everything that everyone's got these days. And it's quite a solid car. It started off as I blew my RB20 and didn't really want to do anything too extreme because I was only new to drifting. So just put that in as a makeshift, and it's lasted 3 years and over 60 events now. It's actually really good. We were talking about it earlier. It's good to be the guys relaxing, knowing the track a little bit more rather than worrying about setup and where you're going to be. So I'm running okay today, and hopefully we can pull something out. Being called Vin Diesel seems to be a pretty common thing. I don't know whether it's the no hair, big nose or big arms, but I'll take it.
Well, now let's see how Lane Brandis goes up against a hard-charging Dale Campaign, who is fresh off a podium victory at round 3. Can he continue his winning ways on this run? Lane Brandis knows this track, but Dale Campaign, a very, very experienced driver in top form at the moment. He's on a good run so far. Lane Brandis also on a clean run as well. He's taking that inside line to try and catch up to Dale Campaign as he comes out of that Achilles radial hairpin. Dale Campaign, a very, very good clean run from him. Lane Brandis isn't doing too bad, but he just hasn't got the proximity required if he wants to try and take an advantage on that run. Neither driver making any massive mistakes, but Campaign will have a slight advantage after that, and now you can see just how much closer Campaign is getting on his chase run against Lane Brandis. A little correction there from Lane, coming into the Achilles radial hairpin, which is out to that outer clip where he needs to be, but Campaign is all over the back of him. Lane was a little bit messy through those Just Car S's, and now as I come into that last corner, Dale Campaign is able to push up on that inside line once again and increase the advantage he had from the first run, and he will take the win. But if you have a look at the replay now, you can see Lane Brandis chasing on the left screen, just not getting close enough. Or if you have a look at that right screen, you can see just how close Dale Campaign is getting to him. He had the advantage when he led, an even bigger advantage when he chased. Dale Campaign goes through to the top 16.
Yeah, I think I got a little bit closer to him than he did to me. It was pretty hard to follow. He started to get a little bit slower towards the end. I thought I had a little bit of a straight in between, but just got that little bit more proximity, so that's hopefully why I got through. And the Achilles tyres are just absolutely grippy as, so it was so good.
Well, this is one of the most important battles so far this weekend. Rob White needs to win if he wants to secure the championship, because he needs to finish ahead of Luke Fink. And Ben Purtell, he needs to do as best he can if he wants to try and get into third place in the championship. So a lot riding for both of these drivers And Ben Purtell has been charging hard this weekend, and once again he has pedalled to the metal in that Team GT garage, 186 from Tasmania. Look at the angle and the speed that he has, but Rob White is right there on him. They've washed off a lot of speed here, and Rob White, he straightens out. He's going to be penalised heavily for that straighten up there. Has Rob White thrown it away as Ben Purtell continues to charge through this run? Rob White will be freaking out right about now because that straighten up will have cost him dearly. They washed off a lot of speed coming into that corner. What happens this time around? Rob White has pedalled to the metal, very messy there from Ben Purtell, and what's this? He throws it away. Ben Purtell spins. Rob White was at a disadvantage coming into that run after that straighten, but Ben Purtell just throws it around and hands the win straight back to Rob White to keep his championship campaign alive. Look at the replay here. You can see Rob White washing off a lot of speed there as they come into that hairpin, washes off a little bit too much and straightens up. Wow, we thought that we might have seen a lose there from Rob White, but it didn't happen after that spin. What a sigh of relief for Rob White.
I had a bit of a straighten behind him because I just couldn't stay. There was either hit into him or back out. So we backed out a little, and I was a bit concerned, to be honest. I was thinking, oh, we're gonna, this is gonna hurt me bad. So I knew I had to put on a really, really good lead run, and I did that. And I think he had a mistake, so I think we got the win because of that, not because of my awesome driving on as a chase driver.
Well, with Ben Purtell out, this man, Danny Verheumes, will be in the hunt for third in the championship, and he has to take on Chase Scott in that V8-powered Subaru Liberty. Last year, Chase Scott entered Adgp at only his second time driving the car, and I tell you what, he is improving rapidly, but not sure what's happened here. Denzo has come into the judging area with a massive lead over Chase Scott, and he is simply so far just not able to bridge that gap up against that 600 plus horsepower at the wheels. RB powered S15 from JPC. As Achilles radials on the back give it lots of speed. As you can see here as they switch it around, Denzo is just all over the back of Chase Scott in that Liberty. He runs a little bit wide there though, Denzo, but the advantage he has from that first run means he can take it easy on this one, but he's not. He's pushing hard. Good proximity from the godfather of drift. A clean run there from Chase Scott. Didn't do anything wrong, but Denzo just did it closer, did it better.
Oh, relax. I know it's hot. I know there's heaps of flies. Because I wanted it more. And I just thrashed as hard as I could. And, yeah, superior grip this thing's got with the Achilles tyres. And, I mean, the car's working wicked. So JPC have done a wicked job preparing it.
Welcome back to round 4 of the Just Car Insurance Australian Drifting Grand Prix. We are heading into the top 8 now of our tandem battle eliminations, and as you can see, there's some pretty big matchups that are about to unfold. But before we head into the action, let's catch up with the godfather of drift, the man who helped bring the sport to this country, Danny Verheumes.
How you going? Danny Verheumes from WA, and I'm driving the Achilles JPC S15. Yeah, boy! Home track, Perth, the car's all fixed. I've done a million laps around here, should be all right. There's a lot of tough competitors out here, but I'm looking forward to it. For JPC Achilles, I'm going to try my hardest to try and reel back the old third. It's got an RB30 in it, dry sump, runs E85, makes about 620, 30, 40 horsepower, depending on the weather. Hollinger sequential 6-speed in there. It's fairly well set up for this track, so yeah, monster torque, monster power. JPC import parts from Japan and have got a full killer workshop. So we supply engines, gearboxes, half cuts, everything to build these cars. We do race prep, drift build-ups, everything related to the sport basically. So Keith Adams is the owner, and I mean, I've been doing it for a long time, and to keep that kind of business running with a sport like this, you need to have it there because parts is a must in this sport.
Top 8 tandem battle elimination time now. Luke Fink, reigning champion, #1 qualifier up against Brendan Greaves in the WA Performance R32. Luke Fink needs to win everything if he wants to stand a chance at taking back the championship. If he makes it to the finals and Rob White doesn't, Luke Fink will win. But if Rob White makes it to the finals against him, he will automatically win the championship. But Luke Fink is hard charging on this battle and is literally walking all over Brendan Greaves. Another perfect run from Luke Fink. Great angle, great line, great speed, and there was nothing that Brendan Greaves could do about it. And as we switch it around now, Luke Fink's giving him a lesson in what proximity is all about, because that is what these tandem battles are judged on. How close you can get and how well you can copy the car in front. And Luke Fink is the master of proximity and emulation in the battles, and he is just all over the back of that WA Performance R32 Skyline. We'll cut to an onboard, and Luke Fink is so close that he disappears out of view from that onboard camera, and he will take the win and continue his championship charge.
Yeah! Got through, stoked, woo!
Well, 2 local single-round drivers about to go head-to-head. Mitch Bunny, #4 qualifier up against Lee Hazelwood. Both of these guys knocking out some registered drivers along the way and damaging their championship campaigns, but Mitch Bunny has had the pedal to the metal on every single lap. Very, very aggressive on the uphill. Hits that first outer clip. Lee Hazelwood takes that inside to catch up and straightens up and loses drift and hands a massive advantage to Mitch Bunny, who will now just walk away from him on the rest of this run. Switch it around now, and Mitch Bunny is all over the back of Lee Hazelwood up the hill as they come now into the Achilles radial hairpin, washing off that speed to get in there. Lee Hazelwood able to hold on to it this time, but Mitch Bunny is all over the back of him. He has a big advantage from that last run, but he's still pushing hard to put on a show for the crowd. This is why he is a local favourite. And Mitch Bunny will take the win. We go to the replay. Pretty obvious what happened here. Big straighten up from Lee Hazelwood.
Just made through the top 8 into the top 4 now, so pretty stoked with that. Car's running well, it's having a wicked day.
Well, with Ben Patel and Danny Williamson knocked out, Nick Coulson has a chance to move up the leaderboard in the championship, even though he missed the first round, and that's what he's looking to do. But he will have to take down Dale Campaign, who's been driving very well so far this weekend. Dale Campaign leads as he is the higher qualifier. A little bit of a correction there as they come up the hill, transition back now to come into the Achilles radial hairpin. Both drivers hitting that outer clip perfectly. Nick Coulson so consistent in that Just Nice Cars VE Ute. Dale Campaign putting another great run so far as well. Other than one little small correction, has done nothing wrong, but Coulson has great proximity and the judges are going to hand him an advantage for that reason alone. So Dale Campaign's going to need to get even closer if he wants to take that win back. So far, not able to do so. Nick Coulson charging hard in the Commodore Ute into the Achilles radial hairpin. Another perfect run from him. But Dale Campaign just simply cannot match the proximity that Nick Coulson had on his chase lap. He hasn't done anything wrong, but Nick Coulson simply just did it better and closer.
Oh, stoked. Dale put up a really, really good fight. Best driver I've driven against today. But yeah, top 4 to head up to now. So,
what a matchup. Rob White and Danny Vahumis. Danny is also in the hunt for 3rd in the championship. He will need to win this to do so. But Rob White needs the win if he wants to try and take out the championship. The judges couldn't split him on their first run. They're now into a rerun. Rob White has had car dramas. It's been overheating all day, but he is just into it to keep up to that hard-charging Achilles radial JPC S15. So far, good run from both drivers, and Rob White is showing great proximity and emulation right on the back of Denzo. Neither driver making any real mistakes on this run, but Rob White pushing very hard and very aggressive to get right on the back of Denzo, which is the judges want to see. And due to that proximity, there will be a slight advantage to Rob White after that. Can Denzo get just as close? Gets lost in a cloud of smoke there. It was a little bit messy, but look how close he's pushing, coming to that Achilles radial hairpin. Very, very close, but Denzo off track and straightens up. And that'll hand a massive advantage to Rob White, who can now cruise through the rest of that run to take the win. Denzo will be very angry at himself. Let's go to the replay. You can see just how close Rob White was getting If you look at the right-hand side screen, right up on Denzo's door coming to that Achilles radial hairpin. But check out the left-hand screen now. Watch what Denzo does coming out of the hairpin. Gets on the dirt and straightens up. That's a massive error. And that's why Rob White will take the win and continue his charge.
Yeah, it was so close. You know, we've got to rerun and then awesome laps. The car has got all the warning lights on saying stop drifting, and we're just doing what we can. And yeah, look, one more battle to go and it's the championship. So I'm having a great day, but it's probably the worst nerves and butterflies I've ever had. So you know, we want this really bad. We worked really hard this year, and you know, one more battle to go. So fingers crossed. You know, after that, I don't care. The pressure's off.
Tyres are one of the biggest factors in drifting. Drivers are looking for the most amount of grip and speed possible. One main factor affecting grip is the tyre's tread wear rating and its width. The Just Car Insurance Australian Drifting GP limits competitors to a tread wear rating minimum of 200, and tyre width limits are based on the car's weight to help level the playing field. The tyre that has emerged as the #1 choice amongst drifters is the Achilles 123S.
They certainly give you the confidence when the car is sideways at speed, and when you put your foot down, you know, the car goes. It doesn't just, you know, hover. Some other tyres will sit there and not quite grab the road, but when you put your foot down the Achilles, it really puts you back in your seat even though the back tyres are still spinning. So it's a really great tyre and we love it.
It's hands down the best tyre in the market at the moment. Nothing really compares to it.
I've been loving the Achilles 123s this year. I was on the normal Achilles last year, and then, you know, the 123s again are just a complete another level. So yeah, I've been loving them.
To tell you the truth, the 123S is definitely the tyre of choice. I mean, I'm not just saying it because they sponsor me. They 100% are. Because of the deep tread, you can burn them all the way down to the canvas. They are awesome, and everyone here pretty much is using them now. So if you're smart, you'll use them because they're killer.
So what is it that makes the Achilles 123S so good? Its compound was developed to provide optimum grip while still maintaining acceptable tyre wear to be used as a high-performance street tyre during the week and a track day tyre on the weekend. Its design features are similar to those of an R compound semi-slick. The tread design is very aggressive, great for dispersing water, and also good for tread block strength, which is required to keep the tyre's surface consistent and predictable. Like a semi-slick, the shoulder is very square and the sidewall is very stiff, meaning less distortion during cornering and better grip under strong side loads. The results of the drivers using the 123S says it all. Welcome back to the fourth and final round of the 2012 Just Car Insurance Australian Drifting Grand Prix. We're into the top four now, and what a way to end the championship. It's going right down to the wire. Luke Fink and Rob White have been battling it out all year. And he is charging so hard. Perfect line, lots of speed. Luke Fink, another textbook run, and Mitch Bunny simply just cannot keep up. The judges are looking for proximity and emulation during the battles. And no matter how clean Mitch Bunny drives, if he can't get close enough, he's simply just not going to have an advantage. A little bit of correction there from Luke Fink, though, as they switch it around on that chase. But now Luke Fink pushing right up onto the door of Mitch Bunny. He is the master of this sort of proximity. Look how close he gets to that Hybrid Customs R32 as they switch back now through the Just Car S's into that last KW corner and past the I Love Drift finish line. Wow, let's cut to the replay now on board with Luke Fink, and you can see just how it's done and how close he gets. Exactly what the judges want to see, right up on the door of Mitch Bunny, through the Achilles radial hairpin there, and you can see he's just modulating the steering, the accelerator, the brake to stay right on the door of that Hybrid Customs R32. And Luke Fink will take the win and go through to the finals.
That was bloody awesome. I had a drive with Mitch last year when we were here, and it was sick. And this year again, like, the guy's so good, and had such a sick time with him. So thanks, Mitch, for that run, and thanks for the Holfords team. Talk
about pressure. Luke Fink's now in the finals, so Rob White needs to do the same. But Nick Coulson, he needs to win this if he wants to move up into third in the championship. Wow.
If we win this, we win the championship. So, yeah, we really obviously want to do well here.
Rob White pretty much summed that up perfectly. The pressure is on for both of these drivers. Rob White has had car dramas all day, overheating, a blown head gasket from the seams of things, but he doesn't care. They top it up with water. He gets out there and he charges hard just like this, pushing right up on the door of Nick Coulson. Another great run from Rob White. Nick Coulson not making any mistakes at all. He is so consistent, but Rob White is very aggressive and pushing right up on his door to make sure he gets that slight advantage. Let's switch it around now. Rob White pedal to the metal, and Nick Coulson so far not able to keep up. A little bit shallow there as they transition back to come into the Achilles radial hairpin. Shallow line again there as well from Nick Coulson trying to keep up, but Rob White is just walking away from him. Wow, that is a lot of speed from Rob White, which is exactly what he needed if he wanted to keep the advantage from the first run. Go to the replay here and you can see it. In the left screen, you can see that Nick Coulson is simply not able to keep up with Rob White, but take a look at the right-hand screen, and that Monster Energy 350Z is all over the back of that Commodore Ute, and Rob White has done it. He's taken the win. He goes through to the finals and now takes out the championship crown as well.
I was talking to myself around the track going, oh my God, we've won this no matter what happens now, and it feels like the weight of the sun is off my shoulders. It was so tense today, it's going to be a great final now, but at the end of the day, we've got the championship. We've been consistent enough through the year.
Now it's the finals, the battle for third place. This is Nick Coulson's third time in a row in this position. And can he make it third time lucky? To do so, he'll have to take down Mitch Bunny. They couldn't split them on the first battle, so now they're going to go out for a rerun. Mitch Bunny leads on the first run, pedal to the metal once again, comes out wide to that outer clip where he needs to be. Nick Coulson trying to push up on the inside to catch up. Mitch Bunny's R32 has been performing very well this weekend. Another faultless run from Mitch Bunny. Nick Coulson doing everything he can in the last sector of the track here. He's starting to get good proximity. No real advantage going either way there, with no mistakes from either driver. Let's switch it around. Nick Coulson leads. Transitions back now to come into that Achilles radial hairpin. Goes a little bit wide, hits the dirt, straightens up and throws it away. We don't need to go to the judges for that one. We already know what's happened. Nick Coulson has thrown it away. Looks like he just ran out of grip, went off the track and has handed the win straight to Mitch Bunny in the R32. Look at the replay. Just ran out of grip, off the track, and the local has done it. Now let's go to the finals. Rob White may have won the championship for 2012, but Luke Fink will now have a point to prove. These guys have had an epic battle all year. They faced each other in the finals at round 1 and round 2. Luke Fink got third place at round 3 and Rob White came first, which gave him the advantage he needed. Rob White has already sealed up the championship, but one last epic battle between these two drifting juggernauts, and look at Luke Fink is flat out. Rob White, the only driver so far that has remotely even kept up with him. And Rob White taking the fight straight to Luke Fink again. But I tell you what, it's very difficult to keep up with that Halford Motors S14. Both cars running Achilles 123S tyres. Neither driver making any major mistakes. Rob White probably should have needed to be a little bit closer to get the advantage. Luke Fink's now going to show him how it's done. Check out the proximity up the hill. Transition back, and Luke Fink is right there. A little bit messy on that transition, but look how close he's now pushing. A little kiss right on the door of that Monster Energy 350Z. He's going to add a little bit more green to that door. And what a run from both drivers. A spectacular way to finish the season. Let's go to the replay now on board in the Halford Motors S14. Look at Luke Fink close in on the door of Rob White. Give it a little kiss through the Achilles radial hairpin. The crowd and the judges wanted to see these guys go at it again, but Rob White's engine gave up the ghost straight after this battle. And that means the winner of round 4 is Luke Fink in the Halford Motors S14, continuing his drifting dominance here in Australia. Mitch Bunny took out the number 3 spot, Rob White in second, but he has sealed up the championship and and he is our 2012 Just Car Insurance Australian Drifting Grand Prix champion in the Monster Energy 350Z.
I managed to finish third place today. I'm super happy. Car went really well. A couple little dramas of Savo, but managed to drive around it, so yeah, absolutely stoked.
Yeah, pretty stoked to win this round for sure. You know, unfortunate we had that, you know, had an accident at round 3 in Adelaide where old mate sort of cleaned up our front end and we couldn't really salvage a decent place out of that. So it's unfortunate, but you know, look, to come home second championship, you know, Rob had a really good year. He killed it. You know, it's me and him all the way, really. You know what I mean? So
We're officially Australia #1, so you know, something I've been wanting for a long time. So it's not just me, it's the whole team, the people around me. We're all, you know, got the championship. We're really looking forward to going to New Zealand and representing Australia. That'll be really cool for D1NZ final in March. So yeah, look, I'm really relaxed. I haven't been relaxed for probably thinking about this for 3 weeks. I haven't been relaxed. So I'm finally getting a chance to relax, and I can't wait for a beer. I've been smashing these monsters down, but I think I need a beer now. It's getting to that time of day.
Let's check out the rest of the top 10 at round 4. Danny Vahumis came in 5th, Brendan Greaves, Lee Hazelwood and Michael Jewston, local drivers, all in the top 10. The championship standings now, Ben Patel managed to hold on to 3rd, pushing Danny Vahumis and Nick Coulson and Downey Williamson back. You can get more results and event information from our website, but next season we are moving to a summer championship in 2013 and 2014, but get yourself to Sydney Motorsport Park on Australia Day. International drivers are heading into town for the Ultimate Drift Festival.